Hi everybody, it's me Kelly. Hope you have a great day. So for this video today, I just wanted to talk about the pros of quarantine and the negative side. So I think going into lockdown 2, I was completely miserable. I was really, really miserable because I just felt like, okay, I'm not going to be able to see anybody, and I definitely miss people for sure, but I know it's all for our safety. And just like how important it is, like having friendships, relationships, intimacy, connection, communication, just having people check up on you in general, and just feeling that love and warmth from somebody is so important. So I think the good thing about quarantine is people have actually found time to reconnect as a family, just spending time with their children, like bonding with their children and doing activities with them and really developing that relationship. And for some people it's been a blessing, like homeschooling has been fabulous for them, because it's like I really love teaching my kids things that are not on the curriculum, and obviously on the curriculum, but things that can benefit them. And for me, like, I'm learning new things as well as a parent, and learning things about my child that I never even knew before, and it's just great bonding and reconnecting with them. And also for people who have been a couple, it has been like a godsend, because now we have time to go on dates. We can have dates inside the house. We could definitely like fall in love with each other. We can get to know different things about each other and just really enjoy us and enjoy being a couple, and definitely having time to be intimate, because a lot of couples, some couples do not have, are not intimate at all. Sorry for the little pause, but yeah, are not intimate at all. So for them, it's just giving them a chance to reconnect and spend that quality time with each other, like going for walks in the park and things like that, and like watching films and just enjoying each other's company. So it's just been a blessing. And so then for when people had to go back to work, some people felt sad, because it's like, wow, I really, really miss them. And I'm really grateful that they're in my life and they bring me joy. So I think that's a good thing about quarantine. Also, resting and recovery, especially for people who work a fast-paced life, who do high performance, whose jobs are very stressful. It gave them a chance to really rest their mind and body. And resting is, it's okay to rest. There's nothing wrong with resting. There's nothing wrong with taking time out and feeling like I'm about to crash and burn. I think the thing that we need to stop doing is glamorizing overworking and burnout and severe exhaustion, because it is the worst feeling to feel like you can't function, like you're about to die, you're having panic attacks, you just feel completely worn out, like you can't even get yourself out of bed, or you just dread the next day because you've got so much to do and it just becomes overwhelming. So for some people, like, resting this year has been a lesson, a really good lesson, as to know where my limits are. And also wellness. I think it's really good to take care of yourself and to love yourself and to nurture yourself. Hi everybody, so for this video I just wanted to talk about the lesson that I learned this year, and that is time on sea is an illusion, and that it is a man-made concept, and the only thing that worries about time keeping is humans. That the seasons and animals do not keep track of time. And just to think, what would the world be like if we didn't have calendars, dates, appointments, a schedule? If we just got rid of those, like, nobody would know what day it is, what month it is. You would have no choice other than to be present and to definitely live in the moment. So I think this year we've all discovered how important it is to be present, and how important it is just to embrace life. Like, you shouldn't just, for example, like, birthdays are great, but why do we have to celebrate our day of birth or life just on one day when you can celebrate it all year round. So I definitely agree with Miss Mariah Carey on that one, to just celebrate our life and celebrate the things that make you happy. So for example, that's like Christmas or the whole festive season from September to December. So that is autumn, Halloween, autumn equinox, Indigenous Peoples Day, because Thanksgiving is, we don't celebrate that, Christmas, New Year. And I also learned a fun fact about New Year's, that New Year originally was on March the 21st, which is the spring equinox, but also the beginning of Aries season. And that is the beginning of the zodiac cycle, because the last sign is Pisces and the first sign is Aries. And then I think it was Julius Caesar wanted to change the date, and he made it to January the 1st, which is Capricorn season. So it in the middle of winter. So yeah, that's when you know time is a man-made construct. So if Julius Caesar hadn't changed the date, then we would be starting New Year on March the 21st. So imagine how things would be. And I just also think that you cannot bug yourself about time being too slow or time moving too fast. You are in control of your life and you are in control of time. And the reason why I think people who live off grid or children don't notice time, because they're present every day. So that's what I've learned this year, how important it is to be present, and that you shouldn't bug yourself out about the time lost, because you're in control of your life as well. Sorry about the pause. But yeah, you're in control of your life, and that there is always enough time to do things in your life. You're never running out of time. There's never too much of time. Time is what you make of it. And the other lesson that I learned this year is to definitely contact your loved ones. How important intimacy is, and communication, and just physical contact, like just seeing your friends and giving them a hug and talking to them person to person, and just really appreciating people in your life. I think that's the thing that had me depressed about lockdown number 2, is that we wouldn't be able to see each other for another month or possibly another 3 months, just in case they extend it. But yeah, I definitely miss people. I definitely miss talking to people in person, seeing people, going to Wake Up on Saturday because I saw people there, and attending workshops and seeing people within workshops, and just, you know, having a good old chit chat. And I think like FaceTime and webinars and calling people is really good, and writing letters, but there's nothing like seeing someone face to face, because it can really brighten up your day and just make you feel a whole lot better. And that loneliness and heartbreak are an illness, and they can kill people, unfortunately, and people have died due to loneliness and heartbreak. So it really is important just to give somebody that like phone call and ask if they're okay, and just talk about anything, like random stuff like biscuits and what do they like to eat and things like that, because they'll definitely appreciate it. So that's the thing that I've learned this year, is how just important communication is, and contact and love. Just yeah, love, it definitely makes the world go around for sure. So yeah, what are your feelings about time? Do you think that you have good time management skills? Do you feel like you have enough time in the day to do whatever you want? Do you feel like you're running out of time? And how do you manage your time? So for me, I definitely love writing things down, and just, it's okay to rest and relax. You're not wasting your life away. We just live in a society that makes you feel if you're not productive or doing anything or just resting is bad in general. And I'm like, no, sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need to take some time out to really recover, because recovery is so important. I think that's what a lot of people have learned this year as well. A brief history of Reiki. Reiki is an often misunderstood healing modality since its conflation with New Age spirituality and the increased number of Western practitioners who unfortunately whitewash the practice. Some like to turn their nose up at Reiki because their only experience of knowledge of it comes from these charlatans wishing to make a quick buck or come across as more spiritual. I've seen this many times within the holistic community in particular, which is what caused me to make this post. Back in the late 1800s, a man by the name of Dr. Mikao Usui was born in Japan to wealthy Buddhist parents. As Usui aged, he studied in a Buddhist monastery where he practiced Kiko and other martial arts, eventually becoming a Tendai monk himself. Due to his fascination with the flow of energy within the body and his desire to create a laying of the hands style healing method that could be used by anyone and adapted to fit any religious or cultural system, he wanted something that would be an accessible practice to help individuals heal themselves and others. Usui discovered Reiki during a Buddhist Tendai training course where he lived in a cave and spent 21 days fasting, praying, and chanting. During this time, he experienced a vision of different symbols that helped him form the basis of Reiki, and certain sacred symbols remain a central part of Reiki today. In his generosity, Usui shared Reiki with those who sought him for free or relatively cheaply, and also taught others so they would be able to pass on this healing modality. One of his students was a man called Chujiro Hayashi. Hayashi made a few additions to the practice of Reiki, including specific hand positions to ensure the most efficient and total dispel of the Reiki energy. Eventually, Hayashi took on students of his own, including Hayao Takata. Originally from Hawaii, Takata first learned about Reiki after visiting Japan for medical treatment. Instead of seeking the surgery her doctors ordered, she turned to daily Reiki treatments, which were administered over a period of 7 months until her illness disappeared. So, inspired by the success of the treatment, Takata asked to be trained in Reiki under Hayashi. It is because of Takata that we even have Reiki in the West, as she brought the practice when she returned to Hawaii. As she practiced with her when she returned to Hawaii. However, since this was during World War II and the height of anti-Japanese sentiment, Takata made several changes to the practice to appeal more to an American audience. Though more and more people are trying to return to the original version of Reiki, from there, other branches of Reiki sprouted up. At first, Reiki was practiced by a select few, but now there are thousands of practitioners in the world. This is a very simplistic explanation of the history of Reiki, but there are some points that I would like to highlight. 1. Reiki is a Japanese healing modality and is heavily influenced by Buddhist philosophy and traditional Japanese medicine. To fully understand and appreciate Reiki, you should study its influences as well. 2. Reiki is a holistic healing modality that works on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. The term Reiki can be translated in English to mean universal life force, and it works by stimulating the flow of energy or ki within the body. 3. Reiki is not New Age. Reiki was founded in the 1920s, while the New Age movement was during the 1970s. 4. Anyone can learn Reiki, but it can be seen as a semi-closed tradition in that you need to be attuned to Reiki in order to practice it. You can only receive an attunement from a Reiki master. Hopefully, this post clears up some of the misconceptions that you may have about Reiki and inspires you to look into it more. If you feel called to practice Reiki, I recommend searching your local community or even check your local hospital. Some hospitals now have Reiki programs for complementary care and sometimes offer training sessions. I myself am a Reiki 2 practitioner, so I cannot attune or train anyone yet, but I'm always happy to answer questions when I can or direct you to other sources when I can't. Colorism isn't just light skin being preferred. Colorism is calling a dark-skinned girl bitter to invalidate her experiences. Colorism is we're all black at the end of the day to dismiss the disadvantages of dark skin. Colorism is dark-skinned girls are popular now though. Colorism is dark people getting harsher sentences for crimes. Colorism is dark people being seen as more dangerous. Colorism is dark people being seen as disgusting trash. Colorism is dark people being deemed not fit for the public eye, so they stay in background job positions. Colorism is telling dark people to marry light so they don't have dark babies. Colorism is the brown paper bag test. Colorism is dark lives being seen worthless. Common features of a Saturn return. A major life event occurs, followed by a high volume of stress, anxiety, anger, and depression as you try to cope with the sudden changes it brings. Examples: births, death, separations, losses, financial troubles. You feel as though you should have accomplished more by this point in your life. You feel guilt, remorse, and resentment when you reflect back on the past decisions that got you to where you are now. It is common to feel as though you are behind in life when comparing yourself to your more successful partner/peers. You may regret mistakes that cost you time, or you may be scared that you missed an opportunity you won't get back. Alternatively, you may finish up something you have been working towards for a long time, probably since your third quarter square. Now that it is done, you feel lost, confused, empty, and unsure of what to do next. A period of loneliness where you feel isolated, detached, or distant from people you were once close to. If it is self-imposed, you want to spend more time alone. If not, it is because you are being separated from friends, family, spouses, or children whom you miss dearly. Your health is in decline, or you are noticing the physical signs of aging. Not just that, your parents are getting older, your kids are getting older, your pets are getting older, and the gap between you and the younger generation is getting wider every year. Perhaps in response to this, you are feeling particularly nostalgic and you want to grasp onto your youth for a little while longer. Think of taking vacations, getting tattoos, changing one's appearance, moving to a new town, or revamping your sex life. Interestingly, in the media, there is a 30-year cycle, which coincides with when a generation of people are going through their Saturn return, longing for media that reminds them of their youth. Be on the lookout for TV shows, movies, and music with aesthetic ties to the years Saturn was last in this sign. And finally, you feel pressured, yet driven to make large, sweeping changes to your life. With this newfound ambition, focus, and discipline, you set new goals and start new projects. You want to make up for your past mistakes and to regain lost ground. You are excited and willing to work hard and plan for this next phase of your life. Thanks for watching the video and hope you have a great day. Bye.